Good morning, children. Welcome back to Social Studies tutorial. I hope you all are well at home. So, in today's session, we are going to talk about political parties. Students, in our last videos, we have learnt about different institutional representation of democracy like universal adult franchise, election, and the requirements of fair election. Then we have also talked about election campaign, electoral constituencies, and election commission. So many times in our day-to-day life, you might have come across that your elders in your family talks about that in this election that party will win. In that election, there are the chances that the party may lose the election. So while learning that there are the formation of government and a party which gets the majority support in election are requested or invited to form the government by president or governor. So what exactly these parties are and from where these people come from? So just to answer these questions, we are going to learn the concept of political parties in today's session. So students, political parties can be defined as a group of people who voluntarily enter into politics and just aspire to be in power or run the government if elected to power. These political parties are the lifeline of a democracy, because already we have learnt about that what a democracy is, that it is a system of government in which the people of the country elect, select or choose their representative directly or indirectly. Because of this, there is a provision of universal adult franchise which gives a right to vote to all the citizens who have attained 18 years of age, irrespective of their caste, creed, gender, religion, economic and social status. So students, because of this, these political parties are considered as the lifeline of a democratic system, because with these different political parties, since they have their own ideologies, they have their view on different issues of the nation. So now, what exactly means you have come to know about Indian National Congress, BJP, Bharatiya Janata Party, Janata Dal, or the Communist Party of India, Shiv Sena. All these are the examples of political parties. These are the renowned political parties which are active. Though there are more than 750 political parties which are registered with Election Commission of India, but we come to know with few political parties, because there is a big difference, as these political parties are either national parties or the regional parties, that we'll discuss later on in this session. So what exactly these citizens and groups are free to form political parties? So students, countries around the world have different party system. Majorly there are three party system. Let's understand these party system. The first is one party system. So students, as the term is self-explanatory, that the country which have a single party to control and run the government is known as the one party system. So what exactly in one party system? Only single party is allowed to control and run the government, and a very good example of that one party system is China, because in China there is Communist Party which have adequate control and power to run the government. But this is the form like the system, party system, where the people have very less choices, because all the people or the contestant nominated for election belonging to the same party, so it restrict the choices of representatives. Then what happens that somehow it spoils or disobey the democrat, as it is not a democratic system of government, because though the elections are there, even people are going to choose their representative, but there is no means more than two party. Because if we talk about that the democratic system, so there is a principle of democratic system that the country must have at least two or more parties. So as it restrict the choices of the representative, and second one is the people belonging to the same party. So the party have the tremendous power, which at times it can use to crush the democratic rights of the people. So the one party system is completely not completely a democratic form. Now let's understand the system of two party system. Again, children, this is the term which explains itself, that the two party system, the countries which have at least two parties, where the chances of winning of election is between two major parties. So that is two party system, and UK and USA are the good examples of two party system, because in USA there are two parties, Democratic Party and Republic Party. Then let's understand the concept of multi-party system. India is very good example of multi-party system, because as I told you earlier that in our country more than 750 political parties are registered with Election Commission of India. So people have a wide choice while selecting their representatives, and in our country there is universal adult franchise that says that the people who have attained 18 years of age have right to vote, and their vote are considered as equal and have the equal weightage or values. So in multi-party system, as there are 750 parties are registered, but we come to know or get to know about very few political parties, because in our country there are the national parties as well as regional parties. So what the national parties are? National parties have a base at least in 4 or more states, and they take care of the affairs or the issues which are at the par. Whereas if we talk about regional parties, so regional parties contest election at state or regional level. But if we talk about in the context of country's development, so these regional parties are very good, because like these regional leaders have the adequate knowledge about their issues of their regional development, that what exactly the particular region or the state having the issues, and according to these issues their partner government who are at the central level, they come to know about the ongoing issues in their regional or state levels. So these are considered very good or important in the perspective of a country's development. And these regional or state level also work for the well-being or the welfare of that particular state. Now, as I told you at the beginning of the session, again I repeat my statement that these regional parties are these political parties are the lifeline of our democratic system, because there are different parties having their different ideologies, their different perspective, perceptions, even they have their different manners or the ways to tackle the issues irrespective of the economic, social or international affairs. So now let's understand the concept of coalition government. So students, once the elections are over, and the party that wins the election with the majority seats in parliament or at the state assemblies, that party is invited to form the government either by the president or governor. But that situation does not happen all the times, because sometimes a particular party does not get the majority. That time a government is formed by having two parties which get together and stake their claim to form the government. This is actually called coalition government. So overall, we can define coalition government as when two or more parties join together. Two or more parties join together and stake their claim to form a government is known as coalition government. So students, I hope you enjoyed this session well. We'll continue the remaining chapter in our next session. Till the time, stay tuned, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.